can swap, it can swap the document, but the time will remain the same. It can't change the time. I have tried it myself, with the help of my all colleagues. If on a Telegram channel, I receive a document, I want to edit it, I can swap the document, but the time will not change. This is one. They say the time is changed, which is impossible. Now the next page 25, the time they are giving is not the time of receipt of a document. It is a watermark. It's there.
If I open this question paper, this opens.
The second point was the telegram.
Yes, my lord. Telegram, page 24, indicate that on 4th of May, question paper is being circulated. The photograph of the question paper, my lord, appearing, we have compared it with the original. It is this original question paper. The date shown on the top of it is 4th of May, and the time is 9 a.m. Now they want this honorable court to disbelieve this date and time with the next page showing. Lord, may kindly see the next page. Next page, page 45, is not the date and time which can ever appear like this in a telegram channel. It is a watermark. If I click a picture, if I click a picture, my lord,
9 a.m. Now they
with a date and time on, I photo it, then it will appear that the photo is taken on this time and this date. Kindly see the watermark. It's not a date and time appearing on the telegram. Date and time appears like the one it is appearing at page 24. This is how they want this honorable court to believe this. And this is something not other than the flame blare, which we have found and seen the video.
What else now?
Yes. Now, my lord, with this, allow me, my lord, to come back to Hazaribagh, just one news item to demonstrate that how it is an admitted thing, almost admitted thing, that the paper is leaked on 3rd of May. Allow me, my lord, to come back to my supplementary note for a moment. Page 12 of my supplementary note. Lord, that is essential. Allow me to read that, Lord.
Yes,
Page
supplementary note
11.
now.
Yeah.
My supplementary note. I have, my lord, only two notes. One, the main note, and the other is supplementary note. Lord, where I had shown the edit syllabus.
Yes.
Yes, Lord. Page 11, my lord. Allow me to read this news, Lord. The Central Bureau of Investigation probing the NEET-UG paper leak case on Friday arrested 3 persons, including principal of so-and-so, and vice principal of the OSS school Hazaribagh, and interrogated 13 suspects arrested by Patna police at so-and-so jail in Bihar capital. The CBI sleuths also visited so-and-so with 2 accused to explore the potential involvement of Rocky, nephew of alleged mastermind Sanjeev Mukhia, in the case. The principal and vice principal of Hazaribagh School, one of the center for the exam conducted on 5th of May, were arrested after 3 days of the questions involving more than 60 hours over the allegations of tampering of question papers. The identity of the third person could not be ascertained till the time of filing of this report. 3 arrested persons will be produced in CBI court in Patna. CBI had seized cell phone, laptops, school CCTV camera footage with the assistance of forensic experts on Tuesday. According to sources, the CBI uncovered crucial evidence from the 3 months call records obtained from Huck's phone, which led to his arrest. Huck, who served as the district coordinator for NEET, had earlier expressed concern about a potential leak originating from a private courier company, and the SBI that the breach might have occurred at their end. The CBI, which was initially concentrating on the route from the office of the private courier firm at so-and-so to CBI main branch, Julu Park, shifted its focus after analyzing CCTV footage. The footage confirmed that no tampering occurred along this stretch, leading to CBI to suspect Huck, who consistently provided the same response during questioning. Sources told TOI that CBI's attention turned to OSS school, located on Mandai Road near Kalu Chowk, and its staff. The agency began gathering digital evidence and uncovered that e-rickshaw had gone directly to OSS school on May 3, instead of proceeding to the CBI main branch, where it was supposed to be stored in the strong room. CBI sources said that at the school, the aluminum box was tampered with, and the packet containing the question paper was removed. A glue stick was used to reseal the package containing the question paper. The Economic Offences Unit, which had been investigating the case before it handed over to the CBI, also corroborated these findings according to the sources. But allow me to skip this. Now kindly see the next page at page 14. I'm sorry, this is page 14, and then 15 is this e-rickshaw and the principal of the school who has been arrested now for tampering with the trunk and seal, etc. Page 15. Look, this is the e-rickshaw. In the affidavit, they said that it is all sealed vehicle, covered and sealed vehicle, guarded, and where all sort of security. Now, this is how
Students pay for the NEET exam.
Pardon?
How much does each student pay for the NEET exam? 1,700 rupees.
Reserved category was how much for the reserved category?
3,200
1700
for the reserved category.
general category.
1,700 for the general category and reserved category. 0.33 lakh students into 1,700. How much does it work? Sorry.
And then they have transported these blood boxes in an e-rickshaw with one driver. There is no guard.
Nobody would pose with a photo, to pose for to be photographed like this if these are question papers. This is a part of the process. When you hand over or take over something, you pause with the receipt, etc. This is OMR sheets, not question paper.
That's 1,700 for the general. General EWS, OBC and NCL is 1,600.
From the exam,
The expense rates.
how much do you make in terms of revenue for this?
Revenue generation. It's about 400 crores and the expenditure is about 300 crores.
Mr. Suresh, do you engage a private courier company?
Lord, your lordships may allow me to show. Lord, the checks.
There is no CCTV in the centers. There is no toilets in some of the
We are not
areas
on
where-
toilets. There are
56%. There is no CCTV.
CCTV footage is recovered. I will, Lord, show when my turn comes.
All right, your
Yes,
third point now,
besides this-
what is the third point supplementary?
Yeah,
note?
Lord, besides this, we have placed on record 161 statements recorded by Bihar Police of the accused, which indicate that the paper was available on 4th. If I can straight away read just one statement. That statement is in. Lord, my main note dated 10th of July. Just one statement, allow me Lord, to read from there.
You are reading Anurag Yadav's statement?
I'm read, yes.
Yes, that your translation is wrong. I have got the original in Hindi.
Okay.
Then
So I
it's
believe.
wrong on a very
believe-
crucial,
Read Hindi. I believe.
it's wrong on a very crucial point.
Okay, okay,
Must be a mistake. I'm not alleging anything.
okay. So, my lord, this statement indicates that my uncle dropped me on 4th, right? The paper leak was on 4th.
That's not a-
See one statement with you.
Who gave you? Yes, well, in fact, because so many people are circulating this material on social media from everywhere. But though the candidates here are less, but the anxiety on a social media and the kind of students who are affected by it, but not coming forward to file a petition before this honorable court. They are supporting all these petitions, and this kind of a material is being supplied. And not even the officers. But the other day, I had placed on record the press note of Bihar Police. The IG Police gave that press note. Now, subsequently, they say they have backtracked. A thing is happening in this case. So let them deny that these are not the correct. This is what they say. In the counter affidavit, they say that this is not a certified copy of 161 statement, and hence it should be discounted from the evidence. हाँ
इनकी हिंदी वाली
हाँ, इनकी हिंदी वाली certified.
हिंदी वाली लेके आ वो हिंदी वाले स्टेटमेंट मांग लेंगे सर
इनको बाथरूम में टॉयलेट According to you, the leaked question paper was in the leaked mode on the 4th itself.
Correct. Lord, I would say third, because for a reason. Let me give a reason, Lord. As per their affidavit, they say all questions papers were deposited with the SBI and Canara Bank on 3rd of May.
Right.
And thereafter, it was taken out of the wallet of the respective banks on 5th of May, 8:15 AM on 5th of May.
And according to them, the leak occurred then.
No, they don't say, they are in a denial mode. Now, what I say is, if the leak has not happened during the custody of the banks, then the leak has either happened on the day of the examination or on 3rd or prior to 3rd. There is no leak between 3rd and 5th because the question papers remained in the custody.
Also, I mean, possibly, if according to them, the leak takes place sometime on the morning of the 5th, according to them by.
Yes, they don't say
They
this.
say that the student, what they say that the
Students were made to memorize.
memorize on the 5th
Now
morning.
let the memorize.
One
question-
second. If the students were made, according to them, the students were made to memorize on the 5th morning. All right, according to them. If then, why is the chap behind you saying no to everything that I say? We've also read our
I'm
brief.
sorry. Yeah.
According to them, the students were made to memorize. That means prior to the 5th morning, somebody had solved the question
The
papers.
whole argument. I'm so grateful.
If somebody had solved the question papers, it certainly doesn't go to the 5th morning.
Correct.
It has to go at least to the 4th, 5th night, night between the 4th and the 5th.
That's right.
In
And
which case the leak has occurred sometime prior to the night of the 4th and 5th.
I'm so grateful. And
So which means that their question is, when did the papers get leaked? Ultimately?
that's what I was saying. Look, I would say, if they are certain that leak has not happened when the question papers were in the custody of the banks, then certainly the leak has happened on third or prior to third.
Before the questions
Before
were given to the,
deposit, because
before they were given to the bank.
Correct, that's right. Before they were deposited with the bank. Everywhere in the entire country, their stand is the question papers were deposited with the banks on 3rd of May. And in their custody, it remained in a wallet and no bank officials are accused and have been arrested. There is no allegation against bank officials.
By the way, in the ordinary course, before the exam, when were they supposed to leave the vaults of the bank? Exam was at 2 o'clock on.
15 in the morning.
Right.
They say that the center head will go collect paper. Now, there is another systemic failure, let me point out simultaneously, like in Bahadurgarh. So the head went to both banks, SBI and Canara Bank, collected paper from both banks, whereas he should have collected paper only from one bank. And
Now
distributed.
tell us one thing.
Please.
There are two possibilities, distinct possibilities. One, the paper gets leaked before the questions are lodged in the custody of the Canara Bank and the State Bank of India, which means that the leak has taken place before the third.
Correct.
Third, they were all safely with State Bank and Canara Bank.
Correct.
The alternate hypothesis is that the leak takes place after they are distributed from the Canara Bank and the State Bank of India and are bound for the centers.
Listen, now, Milord, that is a remote possibility for the reasons, Milord. They're
Because between 8, going by their hypothesis, between 8:15 in the morning and 10:15 when the students were, according to them, given the papers, it's very unlikely that in 2 hours the questions were solved and then given.
everything, and they were made to memorize. This is impossible.
So the alternate hypothesis appears to be more logical, according to you,
That's
that the leak occurred even before the question papers were lodged with the
right. Thanks. Correct. Lord. That is my respectful submission.
the State Bank of India and Canara Bank.
Unless it is their case that
And
the
in
leak
which
happened
case,
when it
the
was in
leak
the
has happened between sometime before the third
before the
or on or before the third. Then between the third and fifth, there's a fairly long period of time.
That's right. During the period, my lord, it was in the custody of a private courier company where they were taking it into rickshaws and here and there for days together. For days together in private hands.
So what is, since when was NTA established?
2017. It was 17, but the first NEET exam they conducted in 2019.
But 2019 onwards, the questions have always been handled by private companies or private couriers?
But in the route, en route, there are checks. And if any courier company or any employee of a courier company tampers with the vehicle in which Lord is transporting the trunks, Lord, it would be registered on a real-time basis with digital footprints. I'll be able to show. Lord,
But how is the digital footprint not available here then?
it's not the CBI has investigated that there is no tampering en route.
Why don't-
Please. Lord, anyway,
There is no tampering.
en route.
Then where does the tampering take place?
Lord, there is no, Lord, the tampering
No
has taken-
tampering.
Hey, don't laugh. I mean, this is a, we are not, we are asking a serious question. This is not, we are not trying to poke fun at the argument or anything. We are trying to understand it.
No, I understand, Lord. Anyway, Lord, let us. Lord, your
Where,
lordship-
according to you, where does the leak take place?
So there is no leak which has taken place.
No, okay, where does the breach take place?
There is a breach which has taken place where we have the timings, we have the CCTV footage of someone going inside the particular center. That's what I wanted to show to your lordship.
So what time does that take place?
Yes, my lord, it is 9. Give me the first report. Lord, it's a part of my one minute time. Between 8 to between in the morning 8 to 9:23.
Is
The
the
person goes in, photographs the paper and comes out. And thereafter, my lord, your lordship will find, my lord, investigation.
But 1 second, assuming that happens between 8 and 9:20, we have to test this hypothesis in the
Yes.
ordinary course of things.
Yes,
According to you, the students got the question paper at about 10 o'clock, 10:15.
after 10, after it was solved.
Is it likely this questions, there are 180 questions,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Is it possible that in 45 minutes between 9:30 and 10:15, they would have problem solvers preparing the answers to 180 questions and then putting it together for the students in 45 minutes?
Lord, they got 1 hour and there were 7 solvers. I can't, my lord, divulge all this information. It's a part of my report. There were 7 solvers. They demarcated 25 questions each. And I can tell you, lordship, my lord, why they were required to memorize. Lord, if we are, all of us are sitting in one classroom, the 180 plus 20 questions would be same. But the number of the question would be
That's right, jumbled up.
shuffled.
That's right.
My question number 1 would be his question number 8. So nobody can give a answer sheet ready that A answer is D, B answer is C. They will have to memorize. And so far the investigation has been able to identify 18 students. And because of this lack of time from 10 to 12, because they were asked to go back to the center, they have to report to the
But
center.
Mr. Solicitor, the whole hypothesis that within 45 minutes to an hour, not only was there a breach, but the entire question paper was solved in a space of 45 minutes
No,
and
within
then given
1
to the
hour.
students.
Within 1 hour.
Seems to be very far-fetched. In 1
But-
hour, all that happened.
Lord, within 1 hour, and there were 7 solvers, and 7 solvers bifurcated questions.
So according to you, the leak, the breach occurred when the
8 a.m. in the morning to 9:23 in the morning.
It was taken out.
So the papers left the vault at 8 o'clock, 8 to.
9:23. They didn't have much time, therefore,
But what time did the papers leave the vault of the State Bank of India or Canara Bank, whichever bank?
7:30, which is under the videography, we have, under the CCTV, we have recovered the footage, and there is no.
So 7:30 they leave the bank.
Yes,
After that, the paper
they
is.
bring it to the center.
What time does it reach the center?
5 minutes.
From Hazaribagh.
7:45. And since the
No, पटना में भी तो होगा ना कोई पेपर.
So still, but assuming that it was 8:02 to
we have
9:30.
evidence to show, Lord, I'll be able to show it to your lordship. And that is why, that is the reason why, because the students got only 2 hours, Lord, to memorize the questions. I'll be able to show that. Lord, out of 18 students who are identified, who were brought at a particular place, only 1 student, Lord, is getting possible admission. Lord, of course, now he would be facing the debarment, etc. Only 1.
But there are about 225 students totally involved,
No,
225.
Lord, I cannot give the figure, but it would not cross, my lord, 150. That's our estimate. And I will be able to substantiate these facts, my lord, by the very my lord, meticulous investigation conducted. My lord, the person who went inside for the purpose of breaking is arrested. The
CBI second report.
my lord, I would request your lordship, my lord, to closely scrutinize the CBI appeal, status report. My lord, if your lordships can, my lord, may I request? May I request in report number 1, kindly read from para 27 onwards.
Now see report number 2.
Yes,
Report number 2.
yesterday, my lord, it was filed yesterday. Would your lordships consider?
Para 113.8 at page 13.
Second. Your lordships are on para?
Page 13, para 113.8.
Yes. The total number of candidates so and so from the are around so and so. Therefore, my lord, I said that it would not cross roughly, my lord, 150. And at every stage of the travel route,
113.8,
8, my lord?
113.8. Just read it in your mind.
Yes, the
That's
total
all.
number
That's all.
around 150.
This is your figure.
Yes. Therefore, I said my total would not cross 150. The check.
Between Patna and Hazaribagh.
Patna.
What is the distance between?
Lord, it is at a distance. Lord, the one gang member who was also at Hazaribagh, Lord, sent it by WhatsApp.
How much? 240.
It is my 240 around. And their model is, my lord. No, their model is not to allow students also to take photographs because if it leaks, they have been given, kindly, this is crucial. The parents have given post-dated checks.
Time started at what time?
Lord, para 50 of first report, my lord, if your lordships can see on this in this context, my lord. Page 19.
Hazaribagh से गए. Even 15 questions.
let's say request to once again go through these two reports. Their modus operandi or business model, whichever way we put it, is they ensure that the paper is not leaked and given to students whose parents have given post-dated checks over and above the advance money. So that if it leaks and spread into thousands of people, then the examination is cancelled and they will not get anything. So students were called for the purpose of memorization, were asked to keep their mobiles out. They also purchased, I don't wish to divulge much, it's mentioned there, accused are in custody.
That's love.
Look, we are not adverse to the petitioners, follow.
Have the problem solvers been arrested by the CBI?
3 of them yesterday. Today also something has happened.
Sorry?
Not doctors, I think. Don't, now you say medical students. Earlier you said doctors. Why are you doing this?
Doctors or medical students. That is very simple. Yesterday, I don't know what has happened today. It's an evolving situation.
Because their investigation will show us when they got the question papers.
There
Because,
is-
I'll tell you one
Which
thing.
hotel they were.
Tell you what is worrying us is how much was the period between the time when the breach occurred and the time of the exam.
Not more
The
than
shorter it
two-
is, the less the likelihood of a widespread dissemination.
2 to
If
2.5
if that time period is say 3 days, then obviously that there's a greater danger of.
Obviously.
If that time period is say about 4 hours, then the
No,
only
let
question
me
is.
assure the petitioners, I am not adversarial to them.
Second,
Their concern is
second,
genuine.
I mean, we have to also look at it this way. Does somebody pay, say, 75 lakhs of rupees for a 45-minute deco into an exam?
Not that much also. It's not, the figure is also not there.
The question is, would they then seek to recover
See,
the
para 105 of the first report.
105. Maybe, because, so this is post-dated check, yes, Malad. Meritorious. The parents underestimated. It is really a painful thing. It is a painful thing. When we went, I can't share all this, where we went for interrogation. But some girls' engagement was going. Are considering whether it is a localized event which can be identified student-wise or it is a widespread event.
Mr. Huda, tell us one thing. Is there any evidence? Or, I mean, we are conscious of your limitations also, because investigation is still going on.
That's right. That's right.
Investigation is still unfolding. Is there any material to any material to indicate that a similar pattern was replicated outside Patna and Hazaribagh?
No, no.
Lord,
None.
there is only one instance. No. Lord, in Godhra, that OMR sheet thing, they say that the plot was that the students will leave the OMR sheets unmarked, and in the time between time for examination is over and before it is deposited, the geography lecturer, Mr. Tushar Bhatt, he will do the filling and will deposit it. The common sense suggests that he can't do it as a geography teacher unless the paper is already leaked. He has the ready answer, so that as soon as the paper is given to him, he sit down and do the
But
mark.
Godhra, ultimately nothing happened because the
But
district
they did.
magistrate, the
But
district
they did.
administration stepped in.
That they
What-
prevented it by arresting the person before he could do the needful. But the question is, there was people from different states had come to Godhra to let the machination fructify. So the people filled that center pertaining to Karnataka and all other states from the Odisha, Karnataka, etc.
How
people.
many,
Lord,
Godhra,
Lord,
how many students, just 1 second. Godhra, how many students appeared?
In total, my lord, the students, but
But nobody is getting admission.
we can't.
Nobody is getting admission.
Your lordship would allow me.
What has
to speak for a
happened?
while?
But
What has-
nobody possibly, nobody is getting admission because never went to successful fruition. in
That's right.
Godhra.
What has
But
happened?
tell us one thing, totally Godhra, how many centers were there? Just, I mean, we just wanted to,
I'll just, in the meanwhile, then what happened in Godhra?
just only,
My
just tell
learned
us what
friend is
happened.
right. My learned friend is right. There was a person called Tushar Bhatt. He was the center superintendent, that in charge of that center. He assured students that you pay me this amount. What I will do is I'll ask the physics teacher and chemistry teacher to fill up the answer sheets. Whatever you can answer positively, you are confident, you answer. Otherwise, leave blank because
Tushar, who is Tushar Bhatt?
Tushar Bhatt is a city, he is a physics teacher.
Center
Center
superintendent,
superintendent, himself
well-
is a physics teacher. And he's-
geography teacher. If I read correctly, it's a geography teacher.
I'll just follow check.
That's what
But
we have
follow
read.
physics teacher and
So he
geography.
was like the invigilator at the center. He was the invigilator at the center.
In charge of the center, my lord, but the physics,
And it is alleged that, after the students had filled in their OMR sheets,
he would get
the
3
blanks,
hours
the blanks would be filled in by the.
filled in by me. This information was, my lord, came to the knowledge of district magistrate and district education officer.
Lord, this was
There-
a month before, Lord, I had shown the email a month before this information was
So
given.
Godhra has nothing to do with the paper leak per
Paper
se.
leak, my lord. Therefore, the,
Except that what they are saying is that if the center in charge had made that representation, obviously he had the answers somewhere.
no,
That's right.
what he said was
That's
that they are also arrested.
But were any of the solved question papers recovered from the center in charge in Godhra?
He was not permitted, my lord, because the officers came at 2 o'clock on him. They sat through the exam and in their presence, they ensured that everything is sealed and sent. So those who kept blank remained blank.
And now from totally, how many students appeared from Godhra? Totally. How many centers were there in Godhra? If you can- 2 centers in Godhra. How many total number of students in Godhra? 2513.
And Lord, how many from outside came? to
I'm just going to come to it. 2513 in the 2 centers. Now, out of the 2513, how many come within the cutoff for 1.08 lakh seats?
How many are likely? to
Around
be?
12 minutes.
Just a second, I'll just write Godhra, 2 centers. 2513 candidates. And how many come within that 1.08 lakh, the last cutoff?
12, my lord, I'm
12.
12.
About 18.
18.
One center 12, another center about 6. We have given this pattern of mark distribution also, their performance also is, below average. That is that PDF page number 1016.
How many students at Godhra out of the 2,513 had come in from, who had changed their centers?
Please, the 14 could do it. Its application was done by about 36. It was not allowed for on account of non-availability. Only 14 were allowed change of center.
Is there anyone getting out of?
No.
Out of 14, nobody is getting admission in there.
Lord,
1,08,000.
who originally applied, Lord, somebody from,
Mr. Hoda, then even Godhra seems to be a sort of a localized, See, Godhra,
Cheating issue more than Malpractice.
Godhra A, it never went through. In the sense that before they could do anything, there were arrests.
Yes, Lord. My submission is not that
Right.
actually the cheating has happened in Godhra, but I say the leak footprint was not confined to Patna. The
It came to
paper had
Godhra.
gone everywhere, and
Not
there was
everywhere.
one
We at least now,
Godhra.
we take your point that there's a likelihood that the leaked answers had traveled to Godhra as well.
That's right.
But Godhra, there's one clear distinction that the students had no opportunity to put
That-
their,
That's right. Lord, somewhere they are caught, somewhere they are not caught, something
No,
is
but Godhra,
noticed,
no.
something is
Godhra,
unnoticed.
Godhra, nothing, Godhra, there is no wrongdoing at all eventually.
Yes.
Because before they could, because the process was not the students memorizing the question, but the
It was,
the center in
another-
charge putting the
That's
right dots.
but Lord,
That never took place in
Right.
Godhra.
But here this honorable court is considering the question whether the leak has a widespread footprint or not. Now, this is one of an indicator that this Mr. Tushar Bhatt had the answers beforehand so that he can do it. So it's a possibility. A possibility cannot be ruled out that he had the sold question paper कंट्री भी हो सकता है ना, ये तो पकड़ा गया है बस।
Godhra,
Yes,
apart from this,
7 months. Even physics and chemistry teacher who is supposed to put the dots, to answer the questions, they are also arrested.
I see.
And with Mr. Tushar Bhatt, who, it's a case of cheating. He cheated the students that you pay me 10 lakhs, I'll do this.
It's a case of malpractice, but it assumes that they had the benefit of the answer sheets,
That's right.
the solved question paper.
That's right.
Because those
That's-
physics and chemistry teachers who were to fill in the blanks, they would not do it on the spot. They would have the
He said,
pre-prepared swab.
Mr. Bhatt said, Mr. Bhatt said, Mr. Bhatt said, I would have 3 hours before I seal the answers. So he gave it to the students or the parents.
That was his representation.
That is his representation based upon which he recovered some money.
Mr. Huda, from what we have now, I think we can wrap up your submission because you're the other
I will
side.
just quickly wrap up
Now,
Lord, in 10
It
minutes.
appears that Godhra, I don't think we can say is an example of a very widespread
I have just
leakage.
one thing to point out.
But there is no evidence to indicate that that scheme went through. In which case, as of now, we find that there is only wrongdoing which has taken place in Hazaribagh and Patna. To postulate that, on that basis, then the only thing which we are left with are the statistics.
And Lord,
That 61 students got 720 out of 720. Out of 61 students, as we now know, 44 got it because of that award of full marks, treating both the options of a question as correct. Can we cancel an examination only on that basis?
yes,
That's
but
the point.
let me very
Or,
rapidly-
or is it something which falls short of the threshold which requires the court to cancel an
Let me
entire examination?
very rapidly give me my view. A month before, admittedly, college Kaka, which I pointed out on the first date also, wrote to NTA
Who?
that college Kaka is a counseling center on 3rd of April 2024, more than a month before this exam. He indicated that this scam of OMR sheets being filled up later is going to happen. Please take care. The email is received on 3rd of April. In their response now, they say the email from the entity College Kaka subsequently has been forwarded by NTA to the appropriate concerned authority for investigation and necessary action. So this conspiracy was already a month before hatched.
Come from Babu Garden.
I'll just do it.
Not one more angle, this Mr. Bhatt, Tushar Bhatt, would have the question paper from 2 o'clock onwards, not after 5. One of his student can give it to him. And they would start solving it. And thereafter somebody, that was his the idea of committing fraud, and therefore he started approaching parents of his knowledge. We have recovered 30 post-dated checks.
Lord,
Yes, my lords wanted to know.
Rapidly, my lord,
whose
wrap it up.
14 whose center was changed, which they say is pre-planned and conspiracy. Not even a single candidate has come. What you may add that also.
My lord, the story they are giving to this honorable court that the paper was collected from Hazaribagh at 7:30 and 240 kilometer in the transit, there was a breach. And on that breach, everything happened. Paper
No,
was
no, I
sold.
don't think that is the case.
My lord,
It's
that's
not-
the case.
Mr. Solicitor, is it your case, Mr. Kaushik? Which was being transported from Hazaribagh?
Yes.
No, not from Hazaribagh.
Where?
It traveled to Hazaribagh to one of the gang members.
Lord, that is
It happened in Patna.
Lord, Lord, it's a.
It's a school.
Oasis school is in Hazaribagh, your
Right.
lordship, right? Where this breach happened.
But the breach occurred in that Oasis school, according to you.
And
The
we have the
school-
CCTV footage.
That
The
the school
footage
is 3rd of May.
before 8:02 a.m., where both the trunks are like this. After 9:23, both the trunks are
And what about the Patna breach?
It is linked.
linked to Hazaribagh. On a para 50, my lord, if you're
What they
not-
say is
But
that-
therefore, the Hazaribagh, the leak occurred in Oasis school, according to you.
Yes,
that-
But in Patna, how is it linked to Hazaribagh?
my lord, the gang was. If your lordship sees para 50 of my first report.
Just explain.
Lord, 3rd of May, the Hazaribagh, it reached 3rd of May.
For a para
School.
To know the. My lord, page 19. Chintu is Hazaribagh. But this Chintu is Patna. Yes, and they ensured, my lord, that they purchase a new mobile with a new SIM card so that there is no further leak.
I'm not sure. 45 minutes, the whole question paper can be solved. So the primary breach occurs at Hazaribagh,
Yes.
where the questions, the solving also takes place at Hazaribagh. It's relayed to Patna and then disseminated at 10:15. So that means between 9:30 and 10:15, the entire 180 questions were solved.
After
Is
question.
the Patna FIR. The Patna police who first launched the FIR
Can I?
at 6 o'clock. They say we were tipped off by our people by the police in Hazaribagh. We catch that man there. That man tells us that we were on there on the previous evening itself. We were taken to this play school and all this was memorized. And what came in the NEET exam was exactly the same. So therefore, the leak, it has reached Patna on the 4th.
No, but the
Please
after
read the FIR. Please read the FIR. Please read the
FIR
Patna
is
FIR.
not the final copy.
The Patna FIR, the Patna police, what,
My lord, would your lordship?
it's the Patna
When-
FIR which is
on-
crucial.
only
And why?
a minute.
and
The
ju-
case
just
diary,
one-
do we have the case diary of the Patna police?
The Patna
We have
police
the,
has
we have
submitted,
recovered. On
they have submitted a report.
my
to
lord,
the-
let when is my lord,
Which is EOU report to the ministry. That report has not been placed before your lordships because the CBI takes over on the 22nd of June.
what is-
Or before that, the investigation was done by Patna, by the EOU. The EOU submitted a comprehensive report which is not before your lordship.
My
Your
lord-
lordships compares that report with what the CBI has done. Many more questions will arise.
Now, let me answer questions rather than arising questions. And please don't.
Please summon that.
We are in the
report.
court, not on the screen. Please see. My lord, para 50.
My lords, that's an unwanted thing from the
Anyway,
Solicitor General.
Anyway, my lord, para 50 at page
And that's
90.
not,
At
All.
10:15 AM,
Mr. Mehta,
that anyway. At
Jolly.
10:15 AM on 5/5/24, so-and-so received NEET solved exam question paper number so-and-so. Your lordship knows, my lord, there was a burnt question paper which was found by Patna police. And burnt question paper had the center number. Question number so-and-so.
Suraj Kumar accesses it in OA.
This Lord, Lord, may I say something? Lord, para 51 also. One part goes at 10:35. My lord, at the outset, Mr. Hegde is a dear friend. We pull each other's legs, but this was unwarranted. But leaving it at that. But half of the question, my lord, paper was received at 10:35. Your lordship would find page 21, the photograph. They burnt the question paper because they didn't want that to travel anywhere else because that was their the source of money. But a part was, my lord, fortunately recovered, which contains this 6136488. This is the center number of
Hazaribagh, how many centers were there?
5. my lord,
Five. Just one second, I'll make a note of that.
So students were also, my lord, from all over the centers. The leak is at one center, but OS is, my lord, but
Centers, totally, how many students in Hazaribagh?
one. Many have by the candidates. Acha, total candidates.
Total.
Candidates. That entry.
These-
5 centers, 2,736.
Then,
736.
2736. Okay, तो कुछ qualify होते हैं.
how many candidates would now fall in that 1.08 lakh? How many of those 2,700 would have qualified for admission?
We will
Because you see,
One thing is clear, they are not in the first. Lord, kindly see, my lord, report of the IIT Madras.
That we got 56,000 are for the government medical colleges, the rest
Yeah.
will be.
Hazaribagh or Patna, my lord, doesn't find place there. So possibly,
Let's,
very few
Wait.
would be, my lord, selected.
in the 1.08 lakh candidates, how many? We want to now see, because admittedly there has been a breach at Hazaribagh and Patna.
It's from all 5 centers, those who would be able to qualify are around 80 only.
1.8.
80.
Eight.
यहाँ से देखो ना पटना से
How many centers in Patna?
I'll give you a lot.
Lord, in first 60,000, earlier, in first 60,000, 60, in 2023, Patna had 1993 students. I am reading from the report of the IIT. Now it has come down to 1561 students. First 60,000. Thereafter, my lord, I'll
Now this time Patna, how many centers were there? 7 centers? They are saying 7.
come to, yeah.
12 centers.
12 centers. And totally how many candidates?
I'll give the exact.
Continue करना है ये।
कहाँ पे? नहीं वो तो first 100, लेकिन first, मतलब those who will be qualified.